Good evening from Paris, where the party has started early, as has the knockout phase of this Rugby World Cup for Scotland and Ireland. It's not as simple as a straight knockout. Scotland need to beat Ireland by more than 8 points and deny them the 4-try bonus point. For Ireland, it's much simpler, Jordan Murphy, isn't it? They just need to win, but Scotland look hungry.
Yeah, look, I think it's a really interesting game. This group was always going to come down to the wire, and this game was always going to be pivotal. For me, Scotland are saying they're not going to leave anything in the tank, and they're going to go out and leave no stone unturned. But for me, Ireland are the better side. They're 16 games unbeaten, and they're looking pretty strong. There's not many players in the Scottish side that would get into the Irish side, so it's going to be a great game. It'll be physical. It'll be similar to what it was up in Murrayfield in the Six Nations. But I'm expecting Ireland to get something out of it and qualify out of the group.
What sort of atmosphere are you expecting? I don't know if you were here 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, look, to be quite honest, I said to people that the atmosphere at the South Africa game was probably the greatest I've ever experienced at any rugby game. It was absolutely electric, and I think the Irish fans will build on that tonight. I thought it might be a case of maybe a few less green shirts in the crowd, but walking through Paris this afternoon, it's very, very much a green city, and they said there was 40,000 here for the South Africa game. I think there's potentially more here today. The
team are a green machine, well-oiled. Johnny Sexton playing some of the best rugby we've seen, aged 38. What's key, do you think, though, to making sure Scotland don't disrupt them?
Oh, look, Scotland want to play the game fast and loose, and they want to score some tries, so there has to be an element of the physicality that Ireland can impose on them. The Irish front five has been pretty strong, and I think Scotland have picked maybe a smaller, more mobile front five. They'll look to play and play and play. It's important they don't run into problems early and try and force their hand a little bit too early. But I was in this situation in 2007 with Ireland playing against Argentina, going into a game looking for a bonus point, looking to beat a team that can afford to sit there and just wait till you make mistakes. So I'm sure the Irish defence will be up to it, but it's going to be a great game.
Whenever I talk to people about Ireland and this World Cup and what a great side they are and what great chance they have to win it, they remind me they've never been past the quarterfinals. But do you feel like they're at a different place now? That's not going to bother them this time?
This is probably the best Irish team that I've ever sort of seen. Number one side in the world, and rightly so for the last long period of time. The game next week, if they win tonight, which I expect them to do against New Zealand, is going to be an unbelievable game. But we have to look after tonight first. We have to get a win here. Some people suggested that maybe losing here and getting a bonus point and finishing second in the group might not be too bad. See the South Africans home and they get into a quarter-final against France minus Fit Dupont. But I think from an Irish point of view, they're going out every game to win now. They'll go out to win tonight and then sort of look after next week.
Yeah, you mentioned that other permutation. I think it's 21 points. Scotland win by, Ireland score 4 tries. Is that ridiculous for the two teams to manifest that?
Oh yeah, look, I think it's pretty far-fetched, although I did tell quite a few of my South African friends that was what was going to happen, just to humble them slightly. I think that's a big ask for both teams, but I think Ireland are good enough to get 4 tries tonight, even if they lost, but I don't see Scots beating them by that many points.
Finn Russell, how big a danger man is he?
Finn Russell's absolute class, and again, people would say, you'd have Finn Russell over Johnny Sexton. For the way Ireland play and this knockout brand of rugby, I'd probably disagree. Finn Russell is probably one of the most talented 10s in the world. Huge fan of his, huge fan of the way he plays the game and the pomp that he brings to it. And he's good enough to unlock Irish defences without a shadow of a doubt. He's one of those best 10s, as I said. But I'm sure the Irish will be very concerned and have done their homework on him.
Finally, just a word on Wales. They've just beaten Georgia, but we found out that Tulupe Faletau has broken his arm. He's been ruled out of the Rugby World Cup. Just how big a blow is that to Wales?
Toby's an unbelievable player, and he will be a huge loss. I also heard that Liam Williams left the stadium on crutches, and they've had quite a few bangs and bruises. Sam Costello came in and did a great job replacing Gareth Anscombe. But those Welsh bodies, frontline bodies, struggling into a quarter-final against probably Argentina if they beat Japan tonight, it's going to be a big ask for Wales as well.
Anscombe's huge too, isn't he? He's done his groin. That didn't look good either, did it?
Yeah, look, I'm a huge fan of Sam Costello. I think he did a good job today. I didn't see the whole game. I just saw bits and pieces of it on my way in. But I'm a big fan of his. I think he's a great player. But it's going to be a big ask to that quarter-final as well. But we're down to the Moneyball games, and that's what it's all about. The games in the quarter-finals are just going to be electric, and the World Cup really feels like it's building now.
Certainly does, Jordan. Thank you very much indeed. There we are then. It's knockout rugby for Scotland and Ireland tonight. Ireland win, they'll send Scotland home and book themselves a place in the quarter-finals. Scotland need to beat Ireland by 8 points or more and deny them the 4-try bonus point.
Well, Ireland-Scotland starts at 8 o'clock. It's finished, though, in Lille, and England will breathe a sigh of relief because they've just got over the line against Samoa. Played really, really well. The crucial try, Danny Kerr, right towards the end. They will go through to the quarterfinals as the pool winners, where they'll probably play Fiji.